Welcome to The Sarah Scoop Show. It's time to get the scoop with Sarah.
My name is James Martinez. I'm actually here to talk about my new project, Love Victor, on Hulu, which I'm starring in, and it is now streaming. Yeah, absolutely. The show's about a young man, teenager, going through a lot of teen angst. He's moving from one city to another, going through a lot of changes, and he basically starts having some questions about himself and who he is, who he might be as far as his place in the world, and where he stands with his family. Questions about his identity, his sexuality as well. You know, it's also a lot of culturing going on where, you know, he suddenly might be around people that may not look or think the way he does. So he's really afraid of not being accepted. So this is kind of a look into his world and his journey into self-discovery and how he goes through that transition. The story definitely dives into Victor's psyche, changing schools, growing up, coming of age, but also dives into his relationship with his parents. I play his father, and I think it's a very realistic look into his family life in general. I felt it was very refreshing to see parents on screen that really don't have it figured out. They have a lot of learning to do, and you know, it seems like the more they learn about their kids. In the show, I have two sons and one daughter, and they're all going through a pretty hard time in their own individual way. And you see Armando, who I play, kind of take his kids by the hand and really show them the way as much as he can. But at the same time, he has his own demons in his marriage. So he's going through a lot of things are being thrown at him by his kids, by his marriage, by his family, and his family's acceptance of his gay son, potentially. We don't know yet, but he's doing his best to just keep his family together and happy and get along despite a lot of difficulties, not only emotionally, but also financially. You know, he's a blue-collar worker, doesn't really have much, but he loves his family very much, and he's doing the best with what he has. About the show, and what just drew the script right away was that we've seen shows about teen angst, but you know, to actually follow that teenager to his home and see how his parents address his problems and the help he needs. It's something as a spectator myself, I don't really see very often. And then obviously you have the backdrop of a Latinx family. So you also have the cultural significance of that and how that may impact his decisions and his lifestyle and surrounds himself with. I play Armando. Ana Ortiz plays my wife, Isabella, and we're both pretty much conservative Catholic, very traditional, but also well aware that the world is changing very rapidly. So you just kind of see them go through these changes and how they handle it. Yeah, in a new city where they know no one. So it's just there's a lot of obstacles, a lot of conflict, but that's what makes it engaging to watch. I thought they were very brave. The lead character be someone who just doesn't know who he is. You know, most of the time you see, oh, he's in the closet because he's gay or he's straight, and he's trying to figure out how to talk to girls. But this is a very smart young man who doesn't want to be pigeonholed. You know, he'd be labeled and told who he is. So he's just being very honest with himself. And the parents as well. It's kind of like most people, because you love each other very much. It's unconditional and everything is great as long as the love is there. But, you know, life isn't that simple sometimes. My hope for the show from the very beginning has been for it to just raise some awareness and encourage people to look beyond their comfort zone and their fears, and really take a good look at what those people that we may not understand may be going through because they don't feel heard or understood. In fact, show as a cast in general, I mean, I can speak for myself, has made me pretty much open up my mind and my heart to those things. We're all, just to a certain degree, guilty of just not going somewhere you don't feel very comfortable, and the show takes you there. But the thing is, the show is super funny. The cast is really hilarious, super talented. The writing, you know, they're coming from This Is Us, so you know we're in good hands. It's really entertaining, and you go through this really fun journey with Victor and his friends and his charming family. You know, at the end of it, you really realize that wow, this is a lot. You know, you may not have been looking through. So you come out of it with a healthier perspective for those that feel like they may not necessarily belong. Whether you're gay or you know, or have a certain belief, your faith. I think no matter who's watching this, you can just really relate to someone feeling like they're just different and afraid of acceptance. So I think this is a very universal theme. First of all, I've been in this business for about almost 20 years now. Talent goes a long way, and he's a good-looking young man, but you know, most importantly, he's a very good person and very generous. None of the publicity or the attention or anything has taken his feet off the ground. He's very grounded, very humble, very smart. He's you know, he's gone through quite a bit himself personally, so I think he was able to draw from that to do such a good, believable job playing a teenager with so much weight on his shoulders, because it's a challenge to go that deep emotionally, especially considering how young he is. But he was very fun to watch. He's very much into cars. He was teaching me about cars, and in exchange, I told him I'd teach him how to sharpen his Spanish a little bit, and maybe a few dancing moves. So it was kind of an unspoken little exchange we had on set. It was fun. He was fun, and he just got along lovely with the cast. They all became very good friends afterwards. Yeah. Well, the majority of the stars of the show are, you know, they're teenagers, or you know, or they're about to turn 20. So they were a young cast. So sometimes they would, you know, they pull up in their car in front of the studio and see me walk into my car to get home, and they would want to hang out with me. And I was like, wow, I feel like the old guy hanging out with all these kids. I don't even know if I could even sit down and have a conversation with them. But you know, I don't know. It just seems like being a teenager nowadays is so different than teenager. They just seem to be way ahead of their time. So that actually wasn't a problem at all. We had a lot of fun, and they're knowledgeable and so clear as to what they want from their lives. And you know, I was really impressed by those kids. So there were a lot of so super just good head on their shoulders. You know, it's not really all smoke and mirrors type of show. You know, there's an important message, and I feel like we all felt to a certain extent a sense of responsibility in this show, because we were really trying to represent some communities that are going through some serious stuff. So as much as it is entertainment, we were also very aware that we had a responsibility to put a message out there saying, you know, that these kids are good kids, and no matter who they are, or where they come from, or what their faith may be, you know, everyone deserves a chance, for sure. I'm based out of New York. I actually got stuck in LA during the quarantine, so I haven't been able to really go back home. So I came out here to audition for the role after I did an audition in New York. So they flew me out to LA, and they told me that you know, it's just one of those things as an actor where you just never know. You kind of do these things, and it just so happened that that was exactly what they were looking for. I don't know what that means, but I was happy, being that I was so in love with the script, and I just loved how brave how they were being with the content. So they flew me out to LA, and that's when I met Michael, and they gave us a chemistry read. You know, it's always a gamble. You just never know if you're going to play someone's significant other or love interest or father. You just hope that the chemistry. And when I met Michael, he was super playful, and the audition was just it was undeniable. I mean, we both felt like we were going to end up working together. So it was a lot of fun. I had actually just started watching Hulu. I had just finished Handmaid's Tale when I actually got this audition. So I knew Hulu was a service that wasn't afraid to go there, you know, or get ugly when it needed to. So I was excited about that. I was excited to work on a script that was pushing the envelope. So when I when I showed up and I saw, you know, the staff and the writers and the other projects that they had worked on, I mean, these are very very talented folk. They are just people that are very well aware of what's going on socially, and they really try to make that come through on their screen and all the work that they do. So, you know, I as an actor, you just work on all types of styles, different types of directors, indie films, studio movies, work television, streaming services. So, you know, I've kind of been all over the place, comedy, drama, sitcoms. So this was something that was creating something that I've always dreamt of being involved in. The caliber of the cast, the writers, and the importance of the content too. That it just kind of goes beyond entertainment. And Hulu was definitely for me. I felt artistically at home, so to speak. Well, I know that the show was the highest watched show the first week, so it's been really well. It was the most binged watched the first week it opened. So I know that the audience is loving it, and I've talked to a couple of people, and everyone's feeling really hopeful. But no, nothing official yet. But obviously the circumstances are kind of everything on hold. But I'm feeling good about it. I'm pretty sure we're good to go. I'm waiting for official word, but we're all very excited. I keep calling Michael and calling some of the other co-stars and producers, and just any word, and nothing yet. Response to the show has been amazing, and that's the most important thing. I would like to see from my character. Well, if we're going to stay consistent with just the style of the show and the writing, I think you know, it won't be a kind of a one-word answer, or, you know, one day he says, no, I'm going to completely turn down my son's decisions or the lifestyle he's choosing. I think it would be, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to do this, because I want to emphasize trust the writers and the directors that work on the show, and it's so multi-dimensional. And I think we're going to see Armando now go through, because Armando's parents is back about, you know, making sure that his kids stick to tradition and let them forget their faith. And so as much as Armando takes that seriously, he also loves his family to pieces. I mean, there's nothing he wouldn't do for them. He's a hard worker, and I think it's going to be really interesting to watch him go through this self-reflection, you know, as well as his mom. I think the parents are going to go through a very complicated, bumpy ride, because not only are they facing these conflicts with their kids, but with each other. You know, they're having marital problems and they're trying to figure that out. So then by the time they figure out that the marriage may not be working, then, you know, it's like they get this bomb thrown at them, just very overwhelmed. But I don't think it will be a black and white situation. I think it's going to be very complex and ring very to anyone that's watching that might find themselves in that kind of same situation. No, I actually wasn't. And I had heard the title, over and over again. But, I'm kind of like an old school kind of actor, where it's just, I watch basically network television, basic cable, and, streaming service was something that I started catching up with only in the last couple. So now I'm catching up way more on my watch list. But I read the book, and it was a book that was recommended by a lot of my fellow actor buddies and just writers who kept talking. So I actually read the book before I saw the show, and I finally saw the show, and it definitely lived up to the hype. And when I saw Love, Simon, I felt it was the beginning of a very beautiful, progressive type of change that was happening in TV. So I was to see what was going to happen next, and here we are. I mean, this is just another step forward for television. So I really do think it is the golden age of television, and I'm so happy to be a part of it.
Thank you for watching The Sarah Scoop Show. Head to sarahscoop.com for more.